The CNN Newsroom, glad you're with me. I'm Ana Cabrera in New York. New signs this evening that an explosive eruption could happen at any time on the Big Island of Hawaii. This weekend alone, new vents have opened up, exposing molten rock beneath the Earth's surface before spewing it up to 100 feet in the air. Look at these pictures. These are fissures, and people near these vents compare the sound to a jet engine. Listen to the power. These vents have already destroyed dozens of homes and buildings like this one here. With each new fissure that opens, fear rises that an eruption is imminent. These aren't eruptions. These are just fissures. Think about that. If that eruption happens, anyone within 12 miles could be in danger of falling ash, and those closer could be hit by rocks the size of refrigerators. And all of this would take place with basically no warning.
They've been warning everybody since the beginning about the possibility. I think they've been very broad about it. There's no way, there's no warning. Like, if it happens, it's instant. So they do the best they can. So.
My next guest is on the ground in Pahoa, Hawaii, and has taken incredible footage of these vents and lava flows. Demian Barrios is joining us now. Demian, you've got the gas mask ready, the hard hat ready. We see what appears to be steam rising in the background. Walk me through where you are and give us a better idea of what you are witnessing and experiencing there.
So I am in Pahoa, Hawaii, which is on the east side of the Big Island, and witnessing, in my personal opinion, from my experience, probably the most amazing volcanic activity I've ever seen in my life. We are having these fissure eruptions. It started on the 3rd of May, so we're now in the 10th day of eruptions. As you can see behind me, you can see some smoke coming up. I'm a few hundred yards from the most active fissure. I'm sure you can probably hear the sound on the audio. And, you know, we've been documenting. I've been chasing the lava since day one. And I'm a photographer, so I'm out there on the ground taking photos and videos, and also just the thrill of being in the volcano. This is an amazing historical event. We haven't had an eruption like this on the Big Island since 1955.
Incredible. And we also are showing some of the video you've taken. It looks like you were really close to one of these fissures. What is it like to be so close?
You know, sorry, it chokes me up a little bit. I don't know how to describe it. It's a lot of emotion. It's raw power. The volcano is extremely, extremely immense and powerful. And obviously these islands have been created by that force. And to stand there and to feel it and to listen to it and to feel the reverberations in your chest and to be able to look at it and smell it and even taste it, it's a very, very humbling experience. I'm an avid outside adventurous photographer and you know, self-proclaimed lava chaser, and so to me it's super exciting. And having said that, I do gotta say much respect, and my heart goes out to all the homes and people who have actually lost homes and properties. But it is quite intense. We're definitely changing the landscape of the Big Island here forever.
The video that you have taken is in many ways mesmerizing. How quickly could these flows turn and potentially become deadly?
Well, you know, there obviously is a chance for danger. These flows are a little bit more unpredictable because they are fissure eruptions, so they're happening in random locations and they're popping up without any warning. Most of the lava flows that we're used to seeing here on the Big Island are either or mostly pahoehoe flows, and those are a lot more mellow. They're a lot more predictable. Although they can destroy homes, you know, they start flowing down slope. So it's very predictable where the lava is going to be next, where it's coming from, and where you don't want to be. In this case, with these fissure eruptions, you know, they've been breaking out on this line. And other than that, they're completely random. So that makes them dangerous. They can be shooting lava anywhere up from a few feet up into the ones we have here behind me, several hundred feet, and they can get really, really big. So it's definitely a little bit dangerous. I got my respirator for the gases that are extremely noxious, and we've had some large-sized lava boulders landing and flying out of these vents over here. I think the biggest one that I've seen was, you know, about a quarter the size of a VW bug.
Oh my
these
gosh.
are huge flaming pieces of rock that you can hear the explosions, you can see them flying through the sky, There's been times where we've had to brace for impact and rocks have been raining down all around us. So it definitely can be quite dangerous, but you know, we're experienced enough to know to keep a safe distance and keep away from where that debris is landing so we can safely continue to observe, document, and of course bring this and share this to the world with you guys.
We are so grateful for you doing that, Demian. Thank you so much for joining us. Please stay safe. And as we're reporting, the worst may not be over yet. Thanks again. Let's get a bigger picture look now. CNN's Diane Gallagher is live at CNN's World Headquarters in Atlanta. Diane, help us get a better understanding of just how much damage could still be done.
Really, Anna, that's the mystery question here. He hit on the part that so many authorities are telling people to prepare for, and that's the unexpected. They cannot really predict the randomness, and that's what makes this so frightening to the people who live on the Big Island right now.
The roar of molten rock exploding through the earth. New vents spewing lava up to 100 feet into the air like a fountain. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says an explosive eruption at the Halemu'umu'u crater is possible, one that could shoot rocks and debris the size of refrigerators into the air in any direction, with ash plumes over a 12-mile area. New evacuations ordered as a 17th fissure opened up Sunday morning, with steam and lava spatter activity on the Kalapana side of Highway 132.
The first thing that I noticed was I heard what sounded like a jet turbine.
Fissure 16.
The 16th fissure erupting Saturday, about a mile from the Puna geothermal venture.
I didn't want to be here in case 60,000 gallons of some unknown fracking type material decides to ignite and go up.
John Davidson evacuated his home on Wednesday before plant employees had finished removing the flammable chemicals. But he returned to check on his property when the new fissure started sizzling and spewing lava Saturday. These new fissures located east of the series of eruptions that, as you can see from this helicopter footage, ripped through neighborhoods earlier this week, destroying nearly 30 homes, damaging almost 40 more, clouding the air with dangerous gases and fog.
It's not like it's a hurricane where you think, okay, in 3 days it'll be here and go, or a forest fire. This is almost like a slow motion train wreck.
With more than 2,000 residents already under mandatory evacuation orders, authorities are warning others to prepare to get out now because they can't predict where, when, or how powerful Kilauea's next eruption will be.
So essentially, vacation rentals in the lower Puna area have been asked to cease operations. They want to make sure that they can have as much water as possible and also make sure that it's just the residents that emergency responders may have to deal with when and if things continue to erupt in that area. And Anna, it's important to point out that President Trump did declare the Big Island, that area affected by the Kilauea eruptions, a disaster area. So once this ends, whenever it is, they will be able to use federal funds to help clean up and possibly rebuild.
It's so unpredictable and so unfamiliar for most of us. Diane Gallagher, thank you for keeping us updated on the situation. And as she just said, an explosion could happen at any time. Our meteorologist, Tom Sater, has been monitoring all of the warning signs throughout the day. Tom, what are scientists seeing that has them so concerned?
Well, besides the fissures that they are expecting will most likely continue, it's a drop in the lava lake in the main cauldron. It's called the caldera, the main chamber. If that lava drops all the way down to the ground table, it could create a steam-driven, massive and violent eruption. Just like this picture in 1924. Ironically, it was in the month of May. This weighs 8 tons. It was tossed over a mile. Some reports that some of the boulders were about 14 tons. So, I mean, you're talking semi-tractor trailers. But let's break it down. The main chamber, where we've had a lot of the activity, where they're watching the lava levels, is a good 20-25 miles away from some of the fissures that have been erupting. Now, excuse me, we've had a lot of earthquakes and tremors in the region. They continue, most around the summit, but then on the East Rift. And that's where we're seeing the pressure just can't handle it anymore. And the lava that has been going from the chamber underground for that 20-25 miles is finding its way to the surface. It is not technically called a fissure unless it emits some lava. So we thought we had 18. We're actually at 17 because it was just smoke. But all of these green triangles are all the fissures. There's no rhyme or reason. They've been popping up to the southwest, and the last couple have been well up to the northeast. But this is Leilani Estates, where the homes are, and you can see evacuation evacuation zone, closed roads. But that activity so far away is telling us something. When these fissures are emitting this lava, it is actually draining the main chamber. Take a look at this imagery that we've got from the USGS. This was filled with lava, called a lava lake, but it has been dropping because those fissures are releasing it miles and miles away. Right now, the problem is, and you look at the lava lake, the water table is down to 1,500 feet. Right now, the lava has dropped to almost 1,200, several hundred feet a day, Anna, so it doesn't have to go much farther. Now, even if it meets with that water, it doesn't mean we're going to have a massive eruption. But again, this is quite interesting because this 3D imagery is showing the base. Quickly for you, just another way to explain it. When you take a look at the lava lake, which was at the surface, it's been dropping rapidly. Here is your water level, and when you get down to that area, debris that finds its way inside that chamber is then steam driven out and around. So it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but all the elements are there, and it could possibly happen in the next few days. Could be weeks, could be months.
Wow. Frightening and fascinating
Yes.
at the same time. Thank you, Tom Sater. I appreciate it. Coming up, the U.S. set to open its new embassy in Jerusalem as nearby Gaza braces for possible violence. We'll get a live report from the region next. One of President Trump's boldest and perhaps most